It's foster mommy here. We've had our babies for about a week now. We picked them up last Wednesday morning, and it's Tuesday evening, so we've had them for 7 full days. These little guys are drunk with big fat stomachs from eating some good food, so they're all going sleepy time on me. Got the heating pad on under them to keep them happy. These collars are working out really well. I'm able to keep track of who's who and who is gaining weight and who isn't, that kind of thing. The only problem I've had with these collars is I made them a little too loose at first because I was worried about making them too tight. So they were a little too loose, and what happened was when they were laying down, probably to nurse, and their feet were right here by their necks like that, their feet were slipping through their collars and their whole arm was slipping into it, so that it was kind of across their body like that, like a sash. And it still wasn't hurting them. It wasn't pressing against their throat or anything like that. They weren't in pain, they weren't crying. I was really surprised when I found them because they were all really chill, and they weren't complaining about it at all. And like I said, I was just surprised it wasn't bothering them, but they didn't care. So these guys are back to getting foster mommy feedings throughout the day. Cherie's milk is starting to dry up. We first started to notice that the kittens were guzzling a little bit more water, not water, but the milk replacement. They were taking a lot. So we knew that she was probably starting to dry up. She was. We started to feel her stomach, and it's just, her milk's not as full as it was. So they are back to getting more milk. And these guys, hi. I'm starting to feed them some wet food. When we got them from the shelter, they had wet food in their cage, but they're just too little to eat it. So I'm trying to hand feed them now, and just like I did with Tanner in one of the videos I posted, you just have to force their mouth open usually, or wait for them to yell at you and wait for them to open their mouth, and then just kind of shove it in there gently and push against the roof of their mouth so it'll stay, so they can't push it out with their tongue right away. Are you coming to see me? Yeah. See right here? Just be careful with their teeth. Be careful that you don't choke them. And once they get a taste for it, they'll like it, and it'll be easier to feed them eventually. They're still being hand fed, but Tanner is a big boy. And he's starting to eat out of the dish now. He can eat out of the bowl or the plate, whatever we give him to take his wet food in. He eats it. He drinks out of the water bowl and everything really well. The other kitties, Tanner is finally over 1 pound, so that's a big milestone. He's 1 pound 8 ounces. These little guys are still pretty small. They're only 8 and 9 ounces each. The other cats are in a cage. No, they're not in the cage right now, but they're playing in the hall, so I can't show you them right now. But they're doing good. The mama is trying to wean them. She's growling and crying and hissing a lot. She just wants to get out of the cage and get the babies off of her. She's not being mean to them at this point. She's just trying to wean them. You just have to watch for if the mother is starting to become aggressive in any way, if she's starting to bite them or scratch at them, anything like that, that's not good. That's not normal, and it could be an indication that nursing is hurting her in some way. It could mean that she has a blocked milk duct. It could mean that she's drying up, and for whatever reason, nursing is hurting her when they try to get their milk. So if she's just hissing and growling, it's a good chance that she's just She's just warding them off and weaning them. So we're trying to let them out of the cage as often as we can. And they're very rambunctious. They're super, super feisty. So we have to be careful with how often we let them out. But we're letting them out as often as we can to give them a break. And we're giving them wet food several times a day to help encourage them to wean and give her a little help with that. So that's about all we've got today. Thanks for watching. Foster Mommy out.